What's happening? Landlord from Alabama here. Today we finna talk about one of the more controversial picks that the Dallas Cowboys done did in quite some time. Mr. Luke Schoonmaker, the tight end out of Michigan, standing at 6'6". A lot of people wasn't too fond of the pick because we felt like we was pretty decent at tight end, but let's take a look at the player, evaluate him from what he is, and see what kind of impact he can have for the Dallas Cowboys day one.
Money in my face. Hey. I just blew a bag, ran it back the same day. Hey. Ain't no looking bad, bitch, came a long way. Hey. I know that they mad, but let them hate. Hey. That what make them hate. That what make them hate. Hey. And we just getting K and they just in the way. Hey. That what make them hate. That what make them hate. Hey. Cause we just getting K and they just in the way. Hey. Landlord is showing how to ball, boy.
Okay, Luke Schoonmaker is a 6'6" tight end coming out the University of Michigan, 5th year senior, so he is very polished and experienced, but on the bad side, he is already 24 years old, being a 5th year senior. But one of the things that was discouraging about the Cowboys drafting him to a lot of people was him not having so much receiving production at Michigan, but a lot of his production was kind of masked because of the way that they was using him at Michigan, in my opinion. And he was predominantly used as a blocking tight end. So with that being said, he kind of forfeited a lot of his receiving production, just the way that the scheme was designed to utilize his talents. But out of 43 games played, he had 54 receptions, 637 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Now that's pretty minute for a second round tight end as far as receiving production that you'll like to see if you're going to draft a kid this high. So that's what kind of had a lot of people in an uproar about the pick as far as when it comes to receiving ability. But now that he is a Dallas Cowboy, we need to figure out what was the Cowboys thinking, what was Mike McCarthy, Will McClay, and Brian Schottenheimer, the people who are going to be using him. What was they thinking? What traits did they see on film to make them want to draft this kid this high? So let's take a look at the film. Now, when you evaluating a tight end, of course you want to see some athletic ability. Requires exceptional athleticism, particularly speed, strength, agility. That's the type of stuff you're looking for out of a tight end these days. But we've seen glimpses, but we didn't see a lot. Now, on this drag route right here, he got open and he caught the ball, got upfield. Now, on this play, you'll see him get upfield, do a nice out route, fight through contact, and dive at the catch. Now, I'm sure this is some of the upside that made Mike McCarthy's eye glimmer, that really made him want to consider Luke Schoonmaker as a real option. I like that. That was a nice play, dive and catch and everything. Now, that really puts you in the mind of Schultz right here, finding the soft spots in the zones. It looks like that's still going to be a big part of this offense. Now, they're not going to take all of the option routes away and stuff from Schultz or whoever taking over for Schultz. So that's a good indication that he will be able to do stuff like this. Now, you can see the athleticism. He's stopping on a dime, getting upfield, and catching the ball pretty cleanly. This is the type of stuff you want to see from an NFL caliber tight end. Now, he does have the size. He's standing at 6'6", 250. So that's a good build that you want to see in the NFL for your tight end. But this is where he really shines right here. He really shines as a blocker. Receiving abilities is mostly upside at this point, but he does shine a lot when it comes to blocking. He always understands his assignments, and he always make the block for the most part, what I've seen. Now, this is him blocking the defensive end. He blocks all the way whistle to whistle and plants him in the ground. I don't know if that penalty was on him. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I seen it looks pretty clean to me. He did the block all the way from whistle to whistle. Check him out. He's your leading blocker right now. Boom. Make sure he makes the block. Touchdown. He's always executing well, what I see, and he rarely misses blocks. Like, out of all the film I watched from this kid, he probably missed a handful of blocks, and that was very seldom. He usually understands the assignments, takes great angles. That takes a high level of football IQ for you to be always where you need to be making a play. And that's go another glimpse of Schultz right here, finding the soft spots in the zone. But look at him. He's blocking the NFL caliber linebacker right there in Jack Campbell. That was actually one of my favorite linebackers in this draft class, and he's seeking them out, making sure he seal them off, doing a good job. And he did this all game. Look at him getting upfield. The ball was thrown behind him. He still was able to adjust, showing great body control and going backwards to catch the football. So this is all upside. You seen glimpses, but we just want to make sure we see him reach his full potential. And it's a lot of promise he's showing as far as blocking. Look at him. Boom. Going right at Jack Campbell, right at an NFL caliber linebacker, and doing a good job at sealing him off. Now on this out route, he kind of lost his footing. So I didn't see this much, but that'll be something we have to keep an eye on. Hopefully he have a decent level of balance and not kind of fumble that play. Now on this play, you'll see him on a drag again. So it looks like Michigan did a lot of drag plays with him, getting them going horizontally, you know, instead of vertical. But I did see some vertical route upside in the player. But like I said, what makes people mad, what grinds people gears is this. Most of this stuff is upside. So just to be fair, but because he didn't have a large sample size of production as a receiver in Michigan. So a lot of this stuff is going to be projection, and you know, that's what you're supposed to do when you're evaluating talent. But one thing a lot of people had a problem with was us projecting and using a second round pick so high on a player that's almost mostly upside. But right now, I can see a lot of uses for him. I kind of feel like after us drafting Luke Schoonmaker, probably the reason why Dalton Schultz is no longer a Cowboy, because he was missing some blocking assignments, and it looks like the Dallas Cowboys value that way more than a lot of people. Look at this play. He led the way. He sealed the block off and got an open touchdown. And a lot of times you see that on film with Dalton Schultz, and he was not making the block, even though the play didn't necessarily go his way every single time. But it was several occasions where Dalton Schultz didn't make the block, and it kind of made the play mess up. And the Cowboys seem like they value that way more than we do. Now, I've seen a few times that he didn't actually catch the ball cleanly. I think that was a decent throw. He didn't get low enough and adjust correctly to the football. But for the most part, I seen him catching the ball pretty cleanly. And, you know, for the small sample size that he does for catching the ball, I think he did a pretty solid job. Hopefully this projects well into the NFL. So overall, right now, he is about to earn a star. More than likely, he will be a Dallas Cowboy. So now we just need to concentrate on what kind of upside, what kind of player, what kind of impact we can get from him. And I'm sure Landlord is one of the better tight end coaches in football. So if it's anybody that can get the best out of the football player, I do trust in him that he can mold him into a good player. Think about it. Most of our tight ends, we usually don't miss a beat. When Jason Wynn left, you know, Blake Jarwin stepped right in and balled until he got hurt. Then after Jarwin went down, Dalton Schultz came right there. So tight end has been a moving process, and it's been pretty productive since we had Landlord, and I feel like this is going to be no different. Now, his day one impact, that might be in question, because I am fond of Jake Ferguson and paid him the shot, but it is going to be a lot of room for him for snaps as far as the run game. Michigan was actually running behind this player, so that'll be something that Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer and Mike Solari and them might want to use in the run game. So Luke Schoonmaker should help the run game in the reps that we play him. They'll probably be run game reps more than likely. But I do see some upside. I'm still not thrilled about it, but I do see the upside. I do see some of the traits that made the Cowboys select him. Now at this point, we just got to see them traits translate, and hopefully he ball out for the Cowboys and shut me up. I'll be the first one to come on here and eat crow gladly. But that's all I got for you today, man. Just holler at your boy, Landlord from Alabama, with the same handle on all social media. And like I say, 1K, 1 love, Cowboys Nation. Let's go.